Okay, let's dive in. We're cracking open the Kidman Urban divorce files today. 19 years seemed like this perfect Hollywood story, right? Red carpets, the whole deal.
Yeah, everyone saw the fairy tale?
But then, boom, late September 2025, the filing hits. Suddenly, it's a shocking breakup in the headlines. But the financial docs, they paint a totally different picture, really precise. Like, this was planned for years.
Welcome to Starscope Report. I'm here to sort of help make sense of the money side of things. These structures can get pretty complex.
And I'm your guide, Jordan. We're here to dig into the business behind the spotlight. Our job today, uncover the mechanics behind how this huge celebrity partnership actually ended. Because when Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban made the split official September 30th, everyone just focused on the money, right? The sheer amount of it.
Exactly. And we're not talking pocket change here. This isn't your average celebrity divorce. Their combined net worth, the estimates are just wild, anywhere from maybe $325 million on the low end up to almost, $860 million?
It's hard to even wrap your head around those numbers, which is probably why this flip became all about the why, the emotion.
What is the gossip?
But we're looking at the how, the clinical side. Our whole point here is that this massive split didn't happen because of some messy fight now. It happened smoothly because of planning, years and years of it. Prenups, trusts, LLCs, the works.
It's like they weren't just married. They were managing two separate, very profitable companies that just happened to share a life. And the separation, it's kind of designed into the structure from way back.
And just to show you how meticulous this was, later on we've got this really surprising detail about their property, all those houses, and this specific $11 million clause in the prenup that's just, unique.
Yeah, that part's fascinating.
But first, let's look at the two financial empires here.
Yeah.
Starting with Nicole Kidman. She basically rewrote the rules for TV pay.
Right. Nicole Kidman. The $1 million per episode titan. It sounds dramatic, but honestly, it fits. It was a strategic shift she made that really paid off.
Yeah, I remember her early stuff, like Days of Thunder, maybe a couple $100,000. But the real story is how she pivoted to TV, prestige TV. She saw where the power was shifting.
That's the key takeaway. That move to TV. Big Little Lies season 1, she got, $350,000 an episode? Which is already huge.
Already huge, yeah.
But season 2, she demanded and got $1 million per episode. That didn't just make her rich. It completely reset the pay scale for basically every other movie star thinking about doing a TV series.
And it wasn't a fluke, right? That $1 million figure stuck. She kept getting it for The Undoing, 9 Perfect Strangers, Expats.
Exactly. She controls her price point. She sustains that elite level.
And a lot of that control comes down to her production company, Blossom Films. She started that back in 2010.
Yes. Blossom Films. That's the strategic genius part. It's what we call vertical integration.
Okay, break that down. Vertical integration. Sounds like jargon, but you're saying it's key to her money.
Totally key. Think of it like this. If she's just an actress, she gets paid once. But with Blossom Films, she owns the factory making the shows. So for Big Little Lies, she's getting paid as the star and as the producer, and her company is making money selling the show.
Okay. Multiple income streams from the same project.
Pretty much. Plus, she had those first-look deals with Amazon and Fox. It just gives her immense leverage. It's not just about the acting salary anymore.
It's ownership. And that carries over to her brand deals, too, doesn't it? That Chanel Noir 5 ad back in 2004, that was huge money even then.
$12 million for 3 minutes, highest paid per minute at the time, I think. And the fact that she came back as a global ambassador for Chanel just last year, in 2025, over 20 years later.
Wow.
That shows incredible brand longevity. Her image is just bankable, reliable, from luxury stuff like Clé de Peau Beauté to that, that AMC Theaters ad everyone was talking about.
She built a fortress.
Okay.
So that's Kidman's kingdom. Now, Keith Urban, his model was totally different, wasn't it?
Completely different. Kidman had Hollywood control, ownership. Urban perfected the touring musician model. We called him the $264 million road warrior.
Right, because album sales aren't what they used to be. So for him, it's all about live shows.
Absolutely. Touring is his bread and butter. That's the core business. And it's a serious machine.
How serious?
Well, the reported numbers are something like 610 headline shows, grossing over $264 million, sold almost 5 million tickets.
Wow.
His Defying Gravity tour, just as one example, pulled in about $49 million. That's averaging like $700,000 a night. That kind of steady income is gold in financial planning.
And he had other things going on too, right? American Idol?
Yep, 4 seasons as a judge, steady paycheck there too. Estimates are maybe $3.5 million to $8 million a season. Just solid, reliable income.
Okay, but the HSN guitars, that's the bit I find amazing.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's maybe the smartest part of his whole strategy. Direct-to-consumer genius.
Tell me about it. How much did he make from that?
Well, in just one HSN event, he sold 22,000 of these limited edition guitar packages, grossed over $6.3 million in one go.
No way.
Yeah. He turned his musical talent into basically an infomercial empire, cut out the middleman, sold directly to his fans. That HSN deal is probably worth a fortune.
Okay, these are two seriously powerful but very different financial operations. If you're finding these kinds of Hollywood money breakdowns interesting, definitely make sure you're subscribed, because this next part, the way they handled their property, it explains everything about why this divorce was so uneventful financially.
Yes, because usually with this much property, we're talking potentially $250 million worth, spread across the globe. The biggest fight is always who gets the houses.
Which brings us to the big twist. The $250 million twist. Turns out they own nothing together.
Wait, hold on. Nothing. But you just listed, what was it? The Nashville place, $4.8 million. Beverly Hills, nearly $7 million. That New York penthouse with the car elevator.
The Sky Garage, yeah. That was over $13 million. Plus the farm in Australia, the Sydney mega penthouse. Easily over $20 million just in those Aussie properties.
So how can they own nothing together with all that? Public estimates put the whole portfolio somewhere between like $50 million and $250 million. That's a huge range, but still a lot of property.
I know, it seems impossible. But here's the kicker, revealed in the court docs. The absolute key to this whole financial split. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban held 0 joint properties. None, not in their own names.
Okay, right. This is the firewall. We need to unpack this slowly.
Definitely. So all that real estate was all held inside separate trusts and LLCs, limited liability companies.
Okay, so for anyone listening trying to picture this, they didn't personally own, say, the Beverly Hills mansion on paper. Instead, maybe Nicole owned shares in Kidman LA Properties LLC, and that company owned the house. And Kip had a similar setup for another property.
Exactly. So what does that mean for the divorce?
It means there's no fight over the house itself. The lawyers just look at the paperwork for the LLCs and trusts. It already says who owns what entity. The division of potentially hundreds of millions in real estate was basically settled years ago when they bought the properties and put them in these structures.
That's incredible foresight. 19 years running their lives like 2 separate businesses, even with the houses.
It's incredibly smart for asset protection, tax planning, but, you know, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Did that separation ever feel weird? Day to day. It's a very pragmatic way to structure a marriage.
Yeah.
Almost cold in a way.
Feels like the ultimate modern deal, maybe.
Yeah.
High net worth individuals protecting their assets. And speaking of deals, let's talk about the prenup itself, the blueprint for this whole clean break.
What were the main terms?
Pretty straightforward, actually, given their wealth. They both waived alimony spousal support. The justification was simple. They both earned way more than $100,000 a month independently.
Makes sense. High earners on both sides.
Right. No child support payments agreed upon either. And crucially, each person kept full ownership of everything held in their own companies and trusts.
So, clean lines. No messy dividing of assets acquired during the marriage because it was already separate.
Exactly. But the part everyone talked about, that wasn't the clean math. It was the lifestyle clause, the one the tabloids jumped on.
Ah, yes, the so-called cocaine clause.
Which really highlights how they use this document almost like a risk management tool within the marriage itself. It said Urban would get $600,000 for every year they were married if he stayed sober and didn't use illegal drugs.
And he went into rehab shortly after they got married in 2006, right? So he's been sober pretty much the whole time.
19 years.
Yeah.
So you do the math, $600,000 times 19 years.
That's $11.4 million. Wow. That's a serious financial incentive. You can see how it's designed to encourage stability, protect the family unit, not just the individual.
It's a huge number. But we should probably mention, enforcing clauses like that in court, it could be tricky.
That's true. Courts generally don't love getting into monitoring personal behavior. It's easier to enforce sell these stocks than did you stay sober according to these terms. Proving it can be difficult.
Right. They prefer clear financial lines.
But whether it was legally ironclad or not, it probably served its purpose inside the marriage itself, didn't it? Setting a clear expectation.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
And despite all this, very business-like financial arrangement, the part about their kids, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, that seemed really thoughtful.
Yeah, the co-parenting plan was detailed. Kidman gets primary residential custody about 306 days a year. Urban gets around 59 days, covering holidays, weekends, that sort of thing.
And they included a non-disparagement clause, basically agreeing not to badmouth each other publicly, trying to shield the kids from the inevitable media circus.
Which shows a level of care, even amidst the separation of this massive financial structure.
So, wrapping this all up, what does this divorce really tell us about, modern celebrity power couples?
Well, it tells us the story. The tabloids were selling the messy drama. The shock was just completely disconnected from the legal reality. This wasn't some sudden implosion. It was, like you said, a calculated unwinding of a financial partnership. It was almost designed to be dissolved cleanly from day one.
They're planning, especially using those separate LLCs for the real estate. It's practically a textbook example for anyone with significant assets.
Yeah.
The Kidman-Urban empire didn't really collapse. It just restructured.
Kidman's still this huge force with Blossom Films and her brand deals. Urban's touring machine keeps rolling, plus his HSN business. They're both incredibly stable financially. It's just separate now. It feels like a very pragmatic, very 21st century approach to love and money.
They really prove that sometimes the most important contracts are the ones you sign before you even walk down the aisle.
And maybe that leaves you with a final thought to chew on. If their finances were so meticulously separate from the very beginning, did their marriage always exist within the framework of a potentially temporary agreement? It's certainly a modern way to look at commitment, where the contract itself is designed to make the ending, if it comes, less painful than staying together might be.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.